welcome to another edition of Cranky Motorsports. I have a bunch of odds and ends to do in this video. Things like take my two American racing rims that are already painted and swap probably my back tires onto those rims. What I want to have when I'm done with the axle flip is basically the rear end level with the rear fender and the front tire, you know, maybe an inch below the fender lip. I want this body line on the ground where the bottom of the body and the bed is to be level with the ground. So I won't really know what tire size I need as a final setup on this truck until all that stuff's done. But I want to get the American racing wheels on the back of this thing just to see how they're going to look. I think they're going to be pretty cool. So I'm going to unmount and mount my two rear tires on the American racing rims. I have to get back to my rear end. I have to drill a hole in the cover, weld in that bung, paint the cover again so then I can put that on and fill the rear end up with oil, and just I'll find something else to put in the video. So let's go ahead and jump into working on the back wheels first, then I'll do the rear end cover and some other stuff. Now I've said it before, you guys that have nice garages with nice floors and lifts don't know how good you have it. Always make sure you chock your front wheels before you lift your vehicle up on a hill. Again, I do all my tires with manual bead breaker and tire irons. I have been doing this since I was like 14 or 15 years old. So I've been doing this by hand for over 30 years. I've done, I don't know how many hundreds of tires this way. And yes, it's not the best way to do it. It's not the easiest way to do it. But when it's all you have, you make do. Looking for my WD. The more difficult that is, but these being 15s and relatively soft tires, they're not bad at all to get off. You got to be careful not to take too big bites when you're getting the tire off the rim, because if you do, sometimes the rubber will pull away from the steel bead where it latches onto the rim. So you do want to be careful when you do this. Now the tricky part, getting the tire off the inside of the rim, the back of the tire off the inside of the rim, these will probably just fall off because they're steel rims, but sometimes you need a hammer to hit the tire. But again, these will probably pop right off. More leverage on that. Nope. So you just bend them backwards and you hit the tire right where the bead is. And it's just pushing it off the rim. Like that. Now when I mount tires on the other rims, I'm going to use a piece of wood on the floor so I don't scrape it up and I don't get all kinds of dirt in there. You need to find my WD-40 though. Let me go find that. Let me come back here. Need my lubrication. Now again, as far as lube goes to get the rims or the tires on the rim, I know they make special stuff for this. I've seen people use antifreeze. I use the good old WD-40, the water displacement, 40th try. It just works. It's lubricant, it goes on there, kind of dissipates over time. People say it softens the rubber, but you know what? I've never had WD-40 ruin a tire. Again, I've done this hundreds of times. Give it a good heavy coat on both beads. And it'll slide, slide, snippity slide. Snippity, snippity, snippity slide. Slide, slide, snippity slide. Boom. Can't get much easier than that. Good old WD's putting in the work. And you just got to get the tire down in the notch in the rim so that it stays as you go around it. And you can just kind of spoon it on there. Is it the big spoon or the little spoon? Heck, I don't know. Oops. Simple as that. One tire on. Now, of course, I have to fill it up because I don't have power in my garage. My air compressor is all the way down at the side of my house. So let me go wheel this thing down there and we'll fill it up. That's a little walk. All right, now that I got the tire down here, the old air compressor hooked up, and let's fill her up. Now when you're mounting tires, you want to always keep your hands away from the bead because there will be a point when that tire pops on the bead of the rim and it's very forceful. It could literally cut your fingers off. So generally get 2 pops, one on the back and then one on the front. So 1, 2. This one is pretty good, but there's a lot of force there. Let's throw the new wheel on with new lug nuts. And I'm hoping these studs are long enough because they're not very long at all. I can already tell you this thing is way lighter than the factory wheel. New chrome Dorman acorn lug nuts. I think I'll be okay on the back here for these. I have enough of a stud that it's out past the edge of the wheel, so I'll have 6 or 7 revolutions of the nut on that stud. I think it'll be fine. I'm a little bit worried about the fronts because the front studs are really short, but we'll see when I get there. In theory, they should be the same length as the ones on the back, you would think, but they just look shorter to me. Hoping the finish on these wheels is pretty stout because it is only Rust-Oleum. Sometimes it can be a little bit crappy. Oh yeah, there's plenty of grab on these lug nuts in the back. Star pattern. that's gonna look pretty dang good. Now comes the pièce de résistance, as they say in Spain. Yes, I know that's not Spanish. I'm hoping these all line up because I traced them with a marker. Should be close enough to get them in anyway. Oh yeah, we're good. The drilling and tapping these wheels was not easy. This is, you know, an alloy, aluminum alloy, that's actually pretty tough. It took me a while to drill them, and it took me a while to get the tap to go through. I had to keep pulling it out and cleaning it. Trying not to rub my socket on the center cap because I don't want to leave a circle on it. These are brand new plastic aftermarket center caps. Now, how does that look? Now, some of you may say, if you look at these side by side, it's the same picture.
They're the same picture.
But to me, old and busted, new hotness.
Old and busted, new hotness.
And I'm not opposed to factory rallies. I actually like them a whole lot. But this wheel and tire combination now weighs probably 15 pounds less than that. Not that I'm worried about weight, but it weighs at least 15 pounds less than the steel wheel. These are machine true, so a lot of the time you don't even need to put weights on them, at least not for what I'm doing. And it just looks clean and fresh. Now I got a whole bunch more random work going on that I'm going to put in this video from here on out, and I'll do some music over some of it, and then occasionally I'll pop in and talk about what I'm doing. But drilling and tapping the rest of the holes on the two new wheels, or the two front wheels for the center caps, cleaning up and getting ready to paint the front wheels, doing some work welding my diff cover, cleaning up and painting one of my valve covers. I got a whole ton of stuff done. All of this was done in one day. I was wondering what these wheels came off of. When I took one of the tires off, I see 93 Chevy pickup, 15-inch, and two-wheel drive. So these probably came out of a junkyard, SPG 71. That was probably whatever vehicle they took in. They usually put a number on it, and the guy that I bought them from bought them off of somebody else that probably bought them from a junkyard. 93 Chevy, 2-wheel drive, 15-inch. So that's what these wheels came off. That's why the back spacing is 3/4 of an inch shallower, so the wheels sit out a little bit, which makes the wheel width, or the whole overall track width of the truck, look better and look wider. One thing you may or may not have noticed is that now the truck has Massachusetts plates on it.
Now, if you're really sitting down, wait for it, registration and insurance.
And that's because I finally got it registered in my state. It had New Hampshire plates on it before because when I bought the truck, I didn't have a title. And if you have somebody in another state that allows you to register a vehicle without a title, once it's registered, then you can take an active registration and register it in Massachusetts and apply for a title. So that's what I did now. Has the cool 250th anniversary plates on it. And even though they cost more than standard plates, and I hate giving more money to the state, I really like the 250th anniversary plates.
We're not trying to win car shows. We're not trying to get awards. We're not even trying to get compliments. This is, can we just make it look pretty decent where a guy stumbles out of bingo and from 48 feet away in the parking lot, you go, and the other rancher's going, golly, is that your rig? Yeah, that's my outfit. That's all we're after, okay?